Wednesday, December 23rd. There is the closing bell, guys. With the S&Ps closing up just 2 points, we're seeing a lot of selling in the final minutes of trade. I got a lot to go over, so let's dive right in, break this market down, and then go over our top 3 stocks of the day. We take a look at the S&P, guys, and these are the futures. We're seeing some hard selling into the final minutes of trade, guys. We just had a drop of over 15 points just in a matter of about 15 minutes or so. It's a pretty sizable dump. We zoom out a bit and we take a look how the night session traded. We had some turbulence around 7, and then we trended higher for the most part all through the night and into the day. We started breaking down, guys, right around the final 12 minutes of trade. That probably has a lot to do with what's going on with the stimulus, guys. They had Trump come out and say he wanted the people to get $2,000 versus $600. I don't know what's going on exactly, but let's cruise to the SPX and take a look at how we stand on the week. We opened Monday, guys. We gapped down. We hit the lower edge only to bounce off of it and go sideways. What happened today? Well, we got rejected at the midline on the week, and we came into this week expecting 57 points, and we're peeling off of that midline on the week, heading towards the lower edge. Now, when we go to the trade tab to see what the options market's pricing in, about $21 is what they're pricing in for the remainder of the week. Now, we have a short trade session tomorrow. We close at 1 p.m. Eastern. So with 21 points in the SPX, 21 down would take us to about 36.67, and 21 up would take us about the midline on the week. So those are our range going into tomorrow's short session. But we're seeing technology sell off in the final minutes of trade. So let's move on over to the Nasdaq and see what's going on. We can see that the Nasdaq just unraveled right in the final 10 minutes of trade, and it's still getting some selling. This doesn't close until 4:15, but we're seeing the Nasdaq down over 0.5%, and it's our worst performing index on the day. The bigger picture here, it's still elevated a lot. This could be good, but ultimately it's not what you want to see. But when we compare it to our big 5, we see that the big 5 is down 0.38% right there. So this stopped trading, and we're seeing more selling in the Nasdaq. So the big 5 is actually doing worse than the Nasdaq, but since the futures are still trading, we're seeing them surpass that. Now, for those wondering what the big 5 is, it's Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and Facebook, guys. These 5 companies make up over $7 trillion, and I'd like to look at how they do and compare it to the Nasdaq and the S&Ps. But let's move on over and take a look at the small caps and see what's going on. We see that the Russell today put in a new all-time high again. We broke 2,000 in the Russell 2000, guys, but it's holding in. We're not seeing that much selling into the final minutes of trade, so the small caps are holding tight, which tells me we're seeing rotation out of technology and into other sectors across the board. So we take a look at some other sectors, and what's up today? Well, energy is up over 2%. And what's right behind it? The financials up 1.5%. Now, these are 2 sectors that were down yesterday, and we're seeing the financials kind of break up a bit. Ultimately, that's some nice consolidation. On a year-to-date, these financials are down 7%. So this is a trade that could potentially get flat to end the year and start 2021 fresh. We take a look at the FCEL, the energy sector, that's down 36%. So these are 2 beat-down sectors, and they're leading today. What's taking to the downside today? Well, technology's down 0.87%, and real estate gave it back what it got yesterday. And then we see software. So software and technology are taking a down day today, a rare red candle we see in tech and software. But it's natural to see some selling, guys. Nothing should go straight up. We're getting some turbulence here, but ultimately, I'm not convinced we're going to roll just yet. Let's take a look at the advanced decline line and see how it's looking like. And we see today 60 advancing and 40 declining in the S&P 100. This was a stronger number, but again, the final minutes of trade, a lot just unraveled, guys. Take a look at the sectors, guys, and this is what you want to see. You want to see XLE and XLF leading the way, but technology is putting a lot of weight on this marketplace, as well as software. But the Russell's up and the S&Ps are flat, but the Nasdaq is taking it today. So with equities mixed, how are the bonds doing today? And we look at the bonds and they're down about 0.4%. Had a sizable wick. We take a closer look at it. A hard dump only to get some nice bids into the final minutes of trade. With equity selling off, we're seeing the bonds get some action underneath them. I don't know how long this will last, but let's get a better read and take a look at the volatility index. We see that the VIX futures are down 4.5%. It's trying to put in a bottom here. We look closer look at this, and the VIX futures are getting a nice bid into the final minutes of trade. How does the VVIX look? Well, the VVIX down about 2% on the day, but look at this. This is a nice jump in the VVIX, and this could be a concerning move going into tomorrow's shortened trade. Now, in the bigger picture here, the VVIX isn't going down without a fight. Volatility could be on the rise again, guys. How it looked to be suppressed today, only to come out of its box in the final minutes of trade. So going into tomorrow, we want to see what the VVIX is going to do. But let's move on over and take a look at the dollar index. The dollar today is down about 0.37%. Dollar can't get a bid underneath it to save its life. It got a nice whack down, came up and got whacked again. Ultimately, this dollar should be heading south. It's just a matter of how fast. Now, what did that do to our metals? Gold today is up about $6 and it's right around $18.75 at the moment, with silver at $25.70. Silver was up and gold both nice today. But ultimately, this is a trade in 2021 I think will do very, very well. And last but not least, we have Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is flat on the day on the Bitcoin futures. However, when we look at the GBTC, this is a Bitcoin trust, it's down close to 5%. Could this be a foretelling sign of a Bitcoin pullback? Now, my chart's saying the 23rd to about Christmas, we should see some turbulence. So it's not exactly on the 23rd, but it's going to be in this window of 2 to 3 days. We could see a 1,000+ point move very soon here in Bitcoin, guys. Keep your eyes on it, but if we see a 2,000 point drop, that's a great buying opportunity. There you have it, guys, for the stock market breakdown. For the most part, it was a boring session of trade into the final 10 minutes. We got some action. Going into tomorrow, we want to look at the VVIX. Is volatility going to continue to rise in the night session, and will it pick up at the 9:30 bell? Now, we have a shortened trade, which will close at 1 p.m. My video will be out a little bit earlier tomorrow, guys, but keep your eyes on technology and what technology is going to do, because ultimately technology down, it's down 0.6% now in the futures. If technology keeps on rolling, it's going to be a big problem for this marketplace, just solely on the fact how heavy they are and how much weight they put on this marketplace. But without further ado, let's dive right into the top 3 stocks of the day. So we hit the scan tab, we go to scan, and here is our list of 11 today. Coming in at the number 3 stock of the day goes to Marathon Oil Corporation. Today, Marathon is up close to 8% with a market cap of $5.3 billion. On a year to date, Marathon is down 50%. Now, what does Marathon do? Well, it's an oil refiner. It's one of the largest in the nation. And today it's up about 8%. It's seeing a nice day, largely due to crude oil up over 2% today. We're seeing crude oil get a nice pop, but Marathon is benefiting from that. We're seeing some nice volume coming into Marathon today. We can see right there, it's a nice sizable uptick. Let's take a look at it on an expected move and see where we're looking. Now, Marathon was trending to the lower edge this week of about 620. We didn't quite touch that, but we came up and we surpassed the midline. If the momentum continues and energy can continue to get some bids, this thing could be heading to $7 very soon, maybe going into next week. I doubt we see another 6%. That's a big move to see in an oil company, but energy is so banged up on the year, I wouldn't be surprised, but look for 724 to play an upper resistance if we do see a nice day tomorrow. Coming in at the number 2 stock of the day goes to Macys Inc. Macy's today is up close to 10% with a market cap of $3.4 billion on a year to date. Macy's is down as well 32% on the year. Now, what does Macy's do? Well, Macy's is a retail and apparel company. They sell accessories, cosmetics, home furnishing, and other consumer goods. You see them mostly in your malls. Now, why is Macy's up today? Well, I can't find a lot of news, but it's saying a lot of retail and apparel companies are trading higher as stocks rebound from losses that happened from yesterday due to the new COVID variant in the UK. So it's not the best news drop you'd like to see, but it's getting a nice pop today, to say the least. We throw Macy's on an expected move, and today we were expecting Macy's to move 73 cents up or down on the week. We're resting right at that upper edge at around 11.20. So it seemed to get rejected right around exactly at 11.20. So this options market has this priced in pretty good. So seeing Macy's at this upper edge, I'd expect it to calm down at this level, maybe retrace a little bit. What makes the most sense to come back to the mean, but after being up a nice amount today, look for it to camp around $11. Coming in at the number one stock of the day, it was yesterday's number one stock, FuelCell Energy. FuelCell today is up almost 25% after having about a 14% day yesterday. It's seeing double the volume from yesterday, and it is on fire. FuelCell, with a market cap of $4.3 billion, on a year to date, it's up 567%. I said yesterday, guys, I wouldn't be surprised to see this stock keep on chugging along. It was a textbook breakout. We're seeing a lot of people coming into this. This accumulation distribution is over 400. We're seeing a 3.0 on the sizzle. A lot of action is going on in FuelCell today. Now, what does FuelCell do? If you don't know, well, FuelCell is a global leader in delivering clean, efficient, affordable fuel cell solutions configured for the supply, recovery, and storage of energy. Why is it trading higher again today? Well, a lot of alternative energy stocks are gaining following a passage in the COVID relief bill that included a clean energy provision such as tax credit extensions. So across the board, we're seeing a lift in a lot of these clean energy stocks. And this is just amazing volume, guys. I would not be surprised to see this stock continue to rise into the new year, especially under Biden. This is a Biden-friendly stock. Who knows? This stock could be in the 20s by, February. Ultimately, I'd like to see this stock pull back. Let's look at it on an expected move, and we camped that upper edge yesterday. What happened? We just erupted, guys. We erupted off that upper edge, and a 4 sigma move would put us about 1438 on the week, but a 3 sigma move is about 1311. I would like to see it cool down tomorrow, maybe come into the low 13s and rest there going into the next week. But ultimately, guys, when we look at this on the trade tab, it's hard to borrow, which means it has a lot of shorts. We're seeing squeezes, people who are shorting this stock, and they're being punished today. But FuelCell is a hot stock, and I don't see it slowing down. There you have it, guys, for the top stocks of the day. Did you guys get a chance to watch any of these stocks? If not, what are you looking at going into tomorrow's shortened session? Comment them down below. I'd love to hear your guys' tickers that you're watching. And if you've watched this far, guys, I really appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up button. Show some support. It means a lot to me when I see you guys liking my content. And if you're watching this for the very first time, guys, do these every single day. Show some love. Hit the subscribe button. That will make my day as well. Put a smile on my face. But nevertheless, guys, have any constructive criticism for me? Any feedback? Want to know something that I talk about? Comment down below and I'll let you know. But on that note, guys, I will see you in tomorrow. Have a great night. Take care. Peace.